Turning now to Massachusetts, where a jury has been seated in the retrial of Karen Reed. She's accused of hitting her Boston police officer boyfriend with her car and then leaving him to die in the snow. Joining us live now from Dedham, Massachusetts with all of the latest is Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson. Matt, last week I had you sitting next to me. This week you are there in that courthouse. Tell us, what is the latest?
Well, the defense team is very optimistic, and they say that they believe that these 18 people that are going to hear the case will be fair. They were all smiles when they left just moments ago down the courthouse steps here in Dedham, Massachusetts, after a jury has now been seated after 10 days of jury selection in this retrial for Karen Reed. Over 3 weeks of this process. Here's how it played out. 18 jurors have been seated. The split is 9 and 9. That includes 9 men and 9 women. We expect opening statements to be a week from today on next Tuesday. And also we expect another motions hearing, which will be tomorrow here at the courthouse in Dedham, Massachusetts, Judge Ashley.
I'm not too surprised more motions hearings because both sides have filed a lot of those. Tell us, Matt, what do we know about what we can expect from those opening statements next Tuesday?
Right, and you know, that was one of the things that we talked about with the Reed team. Remember, everyone is under gag order right now, but just a few moments ago after this jury was seated, I met up with Karen Reed on the courthouse steps along with the other media, and here's what she shared with us. Karen, how do you feel about the jury being seated?
Stay. I'm pleased. We're loaded for bear, ready to get the show on the road, and we're happy with the whole process today.
Karen,
last 2 weeks.
How do you feel about Hank Brennan planning to use your interviews in his opening statement?
Come at me.
That's what your dad
said. You sound like your dad.
I may have seen it. I would not have said anything that I wouldn't say again.
Are you
pleased?
Like to have more time than openings Tuesday? Did you guys originally hoping to get more time?
We're ready right now.
Are you happy with these jurors, these 9 men and 9 women?
Very pleased,
You've seen
absolutely.
Them
yep, and I believe they're truthful, and they were questioned thoroughly. So I have confidence in.
How will you be spending the weekend?
Do you think you might testify this night?
There'll be no comment.
Are you feeling confident about your case?
Always.
And any strategy you want to share?
And with a no comment there, you saw David Yannetti and Alan Jackson usher this defendant away. Remember, she's the only one that's not under a gag order at this point in time, so she's the only one that can talk about the case. But it was really interesting what she said. She's very happy with these jurors that were selected. She believes that they're going to be fair. They also are anticipating, ready to go for those opening statements. And we do expect those opening statements to be quite different, as well as the rest of this upcoming retrial. The opening statements today, there was actually a motion filed by the Commonwealth here in Massachusetts where they intend to use her out-of-court statements in their opening statements. That includes some of the interviews that she's done. Here's that motion right here. Let's put it on your screen. They write this, the Commonwealth filing. The Commonwealth notifies the court that it intends to introduce recorded statements of the defendant in its opening statements. And now we're hearing that there might be some multimedia being used by the defense team. This is going to be a very different trial from day one, from the get-go. And we also know that there's going to be different attorneys that are going to be delivering those statements to the 18 in the box that are going to be hearing it. That includes Alan Jackson will be delivering for the defense, and Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, who wasn't on the case last year and newly appointed. He's going to be delivering those opening statements, and now we know, playing video clips of Karen Reed. Judge Ashley?
And as she said in that interview, when you were asking her questions, I heard your voice, Matt. She said, bring it on. All right, Matt Johnson, thank you, of course, for all of the new information there live in Massachusetts. Let me bring in now trial attorney Wendy Patrick on set with me. Thank you for that, Wendy. Now, let me ask you about, number one, the motion that was filed to be able to say, we're going to use some of the clips of her statement in the opening statement. Now, the opening statement is to tell, this is the evidence that we are going to show you. Why do you think they filed a separate motion to say some of what we're going to use as evidence, i.e. her statement, we're also going to use in the opening?
I thought it was an interesting motion to file, and it makes me wonder what's been going on behind the scenes regarding not being surprised at the new evidence in this retrial. Part of the new evidence is the defendant's own statements in the interim between the two trials. You'll also note that that motion asked the defense to do the same thing. I've done things like this in the past. you may have too. When you don't want to be surprised, you don't want the jury to be prejudiced by the non-evidence opening statement thinking, oh, that must have come in somewhere and I missed it. And you also don't want to have opening statements that are just peppered with objections. I mean, jurors don't want that. They want to hear what both sides have to say uninterrupted. So maybe there was a little bit of both of that led to this motion being filed.
And I think that especially in a case like this, when it's a retrial, they know the judge. You know your judges. When you're in court, Wendy, you know your judges. I know my judges. People knew when I was a judge what I liked and didn't like. And I think by filing it, you have that abundance of caution to give the court notice. So the court's not surprised either.
The court is delighted when things go as planned, because the last thing you want to do, and you know this, Judge Ashley, is have jurors sitting in the hallway while the litigants argue positions that could have been done cleaner and neater. So they're off to a good start, really streamlining the way. Now, let's see how long that lasts, because obviously looking at this buffer zone, there's a lot of issues that could arise during the course of the evidence when it starts to come in next week.
Yeah, I agree with you, but both sides very well prepared, ready to go on this case, very zealous advocates for their respective clients' positions. So we're going to see how that goes. Of course, bringing that to you live from Massachusetts next week.